Hello everyone and welcome to the Intrepid English podcast. In today's episode, I am talking to Intrepid English student Sevgi. We discuss her experience of learning English and what it was like for her to move to London. She also has some useful advice for English learners. You can find the accompanying blog post on the Intrepid English website. The links are in the episode notes. To ask Sevgi any questions, you can simply add her as a friend on the Intrepid English website. I hope you enjoyed today's episode as much as we did. Welcome to the podcast, Sevgi.
I'm Sevgi and I'm 34 years old. I was born and grew up in Turkey. My hometown is Ankara, which is the capital city of Turkey. So this is a summary of me.
Thank you. And you live in London now, so tell me about your move to London.
Yeah, I moved to London with my husband 2.5 years ago due to my husband's work. And luckily we love it. We're planning to live in London for the foreseeable future.
Awesome. Okay, did you have any issues with the language barrier when you first moved to London?
Yeah, unfortunately. At first, I found it really difficult. I mean, I didn't understand a word they said, and I felt like they were speaking another language, which I didn't know. That wasn't so good for me.
Yeah, I think anyone who's lived in another country that doesn't speak the language there can relate to that experience. Yeah. So you've been studying English with me for a little while now. Can you tell us about your experience of studying English so far?
Well, I was taught English at school and I always worked with international teams. So English has always been a part of my educational and personal life. But this was the first time that I'm in a fully British environment. So the first year, I wanted to take a sabbatical to concentrate on improving my English, to adapt our new environment and settle down.
Lovely. And now you're considering taking the IELTS exam, is that right?
Yeah, I'm qualified as a pharmacist, and to be able to practice as a pharmacist in the UK, I have to be registered in the UK. To be able to apply to register as a pharmacist, I need to provide evidence of my English language competency first. That's why I'm considering taking the IELTS academic exam.
Excellent. Can you tell us about any difficult areas of the IELTS academic exam specifically? Anything that you found particularly challenging?
I think the most challenging part for me is to speak in a structural way. And also I find writing is really hard because of the limited time and also the topics. They're boring.
At least you're honest. Okay. Had you had any English lessons online before the lessons with me?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You asked this question to a very experienced student. I've tried different teachers at various platforms, to be honest.
And how did you find the experience then?
Learning a new language is not easy, and as much as I want to improve, I also want to enjoy spending my time on it. And I couldn't commit to any of my teachers before because this kind of teaching requires perfect balance. And it's easy to repeat the same things without any change or improvement or being so strict and get student bored. So I was about to give up on this journey, to be honest. Oh. Luckily, you were there.
Oh,
that because I met you, I found you, and then my approach has changed. It changed my approach to my English skills and to learn English.
You've changed your approach, okay? And in what way would you say you've changed your approach to learning English?
Yeah, from my point of view, language is an organic thing which evolves over time. So I think it's a never-ending story, even for native English speakers. And as a non-native, in the beginning, I was so afraid of talking to others, making mistakes, hesitating because of lack of vocabulary. All of these negatively affected my daily life. I had become reluctant to communicate with others, and you can make friends or find a job without talking, which is a surprise. After I found you, Lorraine, finally I started to see the improvement of my language skills, which encouraged me to communicate with others more, and that was the start of new relationships and opportunities for me. And you made me realize I'm much better than I thought.
You're very good.
So it's not only about language skills. We need a little push in the right direction. And we are not shy. I mean, not all of us, not me, obviously. So I want to thank you to help me to be me again in another language.
Thank you, Sevgi. That's really sweet of you to say. It's a really lovely moment when you are able to overcome your fear and let some of your personality show when you're speaking in a second language. I remember feeling that way when I was speaking German. It's quite difficult to get to that point, but when you have that feeling, it's addictive. You want to carry on learning. So when I know that the students experience that, I look forward to how excited they're going to be to learn more.
Yeah, definitely. It was a relief, and then now I want to go further.
Yeah, great. Have you had any other sort of aha moments or surprising moments when you've impressed yourself with your English skills?
Yes, when you asked me for this podcast, obviously, I was more than surprised, actually.
Well, thank you very much for being here. It's really nice. So far, we've had a few interviews with the teachers, so it's really lovely to have an interview with a student. So what advice would you give to students who are listening to this podcast, students who are maybe at any stage of their learning journey? What would you say to them?
Don't give up. There might be some unpleasant reactions while you talk to some people, and we should admit that it's also not easy to understand someone who is not speaking fluently. But don't take any of those reactions personally and enjoy.
That's excellent advice, Sevgi. Thank you very much. Okay, anything else you want to add before we say goodbye?
I'm glad that you asked me to join this podcast, and I'm glad I found you.
I'm glad I found you too.
And thanks for encouraging me to make mistakes and not feel bad. And having learned about the language, it's helped me to absorb the culture better. So I can't thank you enough for helping me to feel this way.
Oh, you're absolutely welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Intrepid English podcast. If you have any questions or comments about this episode, please feel free to drop us a line at intrepidenglish.co.uk. Come and join our Intrepid English community, where students talk about their experience of learning English, give each other advice and help, and share their English achievements. We'd love to have you join us. Until next time, thanks for listening.